Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back once again for another video. Today I wanted to cover some Last of Us because we did get some exciting news yesterday in the form of an actual release date. We also got some new character posters I wanted to go over, but we got our release date finally. We got the vague release back about a month or so ago where we got one of our last trailers where they said sometime in April. People were kind of predicting around April 13th, April 20th, and it looks like it's going to be April 13th, taking place after the season finale of White Lotus, I think it is. But we also got some new character posters, so I kind of wanted to just talk about them for a minute, break them down, and just kind of get us hyped up for this next season because it's going to be a big one. It's going to have a very controversial story if they do stick with it. But anyways, we got this next season coming up, and I will leave a link for an article that I read. But regarding the amount of seasons we're supposed to get for this show, they're saying, and I've mentioned this in videos before because this has kind of been something I think that's been pretty much known since they came up with what they wanted to do and everything, and they kind of mapped out the story that they want to tell from the content of the second game, but they're saying 4 seasons minimum for this series. Whether it goes beyond that, I mean, that completely has to do with whether or not they come up with the concept for a new game in the next couple of years. But I mean, it took 7 years for this second game to come out, and with anything that they want to do, you have to wonder if they're going to come up with a new game or they're going to come up with original material that was completely something else that would carry on the story past those 4 seasons. But I don't see them doing that because Neil Druckmann's kind of a stickler, I think, for keeping it where it is and not wanting to expand beyond that in case they do decide to do a third game, because a third game I think is always in the cards right now. They just have to come up with the right story, and that's been a thing with Neil Druckmann. He won't do it until they have the right story, unless they have the right story, because you have to understand with the second game, with all the controversy that surrounds it, with the split audience and everything, where people loved it or they hated it, right there in the middle for me. I love the new gameplay. I love the enhanced fighting and everything like that. But the story, it's ripped my heart out, to say the least. So if you haven't played the second game and you're not familiar with the story, and they stick to it and they're loyal to the game, you're in for some shit. But anyways, I wanted to talk about these posters as well, where we have 3 character posters. We have Joel, Abby, and Ellie. And they all have got kind of their own thing there, where we have Joel in this first poster, and of course, they're surrounded by cordyceps there on the ground and popping up in different spots. But we have him standing on his watch. This is the watch that his daughter Sarah gave him. He never took it off, even though it doesn't work and it has the broken glass and everything. This is something that he could never, bring himself to part with. So this is kind of just, these are definitely character posters that kind of describe who they are, I think. And with the next one too, with Ellie's, it's kind of that same thing, because if you played the second game, you know that Ellie learns how to play guitar. Joel teaches her how to play, and this is how they bond and they develop that really tight relationship before things kind of hit some rocky patches. But this is how they grow closer. This is how they develop this strong bond over that 5-year time jump that we're going to get, where some other shit's going to go down. But this is how she kind of holds on to him after everything that happens, after their relationship goes through some rough patches and everything. But this is her bond to Joel. This is something that he gave her that's, she really kind of falls in love with, and she gets really good at it too. So I'm really looking forward to see what they do with that, considering the little bits we have seen, the teasers and everything. But moving on to Abby's. Now, Abby, we know she is that character where, just depending where you look at it or how you look at it, she is kind of in that gray area. She's not necessarily a bad guy, but she's not the good guy either. She's right there in the middle. She's just surviving like everybody else. And the consequences of the things that happen in this next game or this next season are a direct result of what happens in that first season. Because the man that gets killed, and I'm sorry if this is spoiling it for you, but the doctor that Joel kills, that's her dad. So this is all about revenge. And with her, on her poster, we have her on this Firefly tag, because she is a Firefly, because of course the hospital that they were all at was a Firefly hospital. It was a little base for them. So this is her coming in and going on a revenge mission, just to kind of give it a little vaguely, I guess. And I won't tell you what that mission really entails or who it entails, or just there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. And if they stick true to the game, like I mentioned, it's going to be very heartbreaking for a lot of people that aren't familiar with it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you leave comments, leave your likes, consider subscribing. April 13th, guys, we finally got our release date. We'll see it here in the next couple months. I'm very excited, and just to see how it all turns out and where it will leave us, because they want to take this second game and split it up into multiple seasons, because they want to really dive into the story, because the second game is a very large game. So I'm looking forward to see whose viewpoint will this be from, because I imagine each season, at least the next two, will be from two completely different vantage points. We'll see it from two different point of views. So I'm excited to see how it all comes together, and if they change anything, or just they stick true and they rip our still beating hearts out of our chest. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Again, comments, likes, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.